Artlist.io.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the post-match report for the Arsenal vs Paris Saint-Germain Champions League clash midweek, the second match week of the Champions League. In a game where, we did what we wanted to do, and I'm very happy with the result. Obviously the two goals came in the 20th and 35th minute. From Havertz and Saka. Let's just talk about those goals for a minute. Trossard was for the first goal. He carried the ball. He got past a couple, and then he whipped across into Havertz. And how we can manage to get Havertz can manage to get that deep and stay inside. The PSG defense looked a bit fluid, and that's not what you want. It was kind of easy to break down, and you want more solidity if you're PSG, and they haven't looked the same since, in the Champions League especially, they haven't looked the same, but they haven't lost in the league, so I can't really speak on behalf of that. But then Donnarumma, he had a howler of a game. He should have came out to that earlier, he should have read it better, and then Havertz, he was always going to try and head that ball into the back of the net, and he just got it, and it almost came off the post. But yeah, and then the Saka goal was, was pretty lucky. I will say that. I think there were questions whether it was indirect or direct. At least that was what the commentator was saying at the time. But I think it was a direct free kick, and it was such a bad free kick. Martinelli missed it. He tried to flick it on, and then Partey and Timber got in Donnaruma's line of vision as they try to hit it, and then Donnaruma's almost gone to tap it away, and it's just gone past his right hand and into the back of the net. That's not we did smash PSG, but in saying that, they scored two. They hit the post twice. Obviously Nuno Mendes had a absolute, he had such a great chance. It was a chance out of nothing, but it just hit the base of the outside of the right post, and Raya was never getting to it, so that was such a close chance to equalise in between the two goals. And then a little bit later in the game, Jan Evers flicked it on from a corner, and it hit the top of the post. Sorry, it hit the crossbar. We looked really, really good, and Calafiori was inverting, and he was he was getting really high up the pitch, especially for a couple of attacks where there was just a pocket of space there that usually Odegaard would be kind of in. And it worked very well. Timber at right back, he was less attacking minded, and he was kind of going into that back three. We saw Timber and Calafiori inverting against Leicester. We didn't see that today. Whenever this game was. And also, we saw Mikel Merino. First game, debut for Arsenal. He played well. I wouldn't say he was a standout, but he definitely played well. It took him a while. He looked like, it was a bit like when Sterling came on. They're backing off a bit. They're not really coming to the ball and pressing as they should, and it's his first game, and he said in an interview, he said something the tactics Arsenal are using he's never heard of before, and it would take some time to get used to, but he did say once he gets used to it, it's just going to click, and that's what we want. We want just Merino start against Southampton. We'll talk about in the pre-match report for that, but hopefully it can click for him, and then we can utilise Rice, Merino and Odegaard when everyone's fully fit. PSG dominated possession, and I'm not surprised. After we got those two goals, they were kind of controlling possession. Even before that, this is momentum, not possession, but still, our XG was still higher, and they had more shots. We had one big chance. Obviously, the Saka one wasn't. Kivior did come on in the 40s at half time. I didn't really see it. I wasn't impressed by him, but he didn't put a step wrong, put it that way. And I feel like Dembele being out for them, I mean, it wasn't out that was it wasn't forced. Like, it was a decision by the manager because of what happened. I think Dembele, there was a disagreement or something, and Doué had to come in, and he looked a little bit like inexperienced. He's still young. I think he's like 20, 19. He's 19, and I mean, yeah, he wasn't when he let me try that again. When he had the ball, he didn't look the most confident. I mean, it's a complete contrast. Well, not a complete contrast, but if you look at Barcola, he's really confident. He doesn't look like a good dribbler, but it's so hard to get the ball off him. And I feel like Lee, Kangin being the striker, there's not much of a vocal point there. Like, I feel like Colomani, who was injured, well, no, he did come on. I don't know if he's just off the back of an injury, but Colomani being up there would have been a bit bigger for them, as they'd actually have a vocal point. I feel like that's what PSG lacked a bit. And or Gonzalo Ramos, but I think he's injured as well. Ikemi was really good when he got his chance. He'd got some pace to make, but I feel like he was just sitting high up the pitch, and defensively he was a bit like he was missing something. But for us, Trossard was really good, and Havertz. Saka looked really good. He looked like he wanted the ball. Partey, he always starts really well. He's always involved, but he just looks like a bit slow off the ball, and you can tell that's kind of come with his age. He's always been a slow player. Rice, he's been less involved more and more as we go on. We see like he's less of a he's less of like a person who carries the ball and then he gets back and he wins the ball back when we lose it, and then he carries the ball forward and passes it to Erdegaard. He's more of just like he has his role and he sticks to it. He's less all over the place, which is kind of good. Calafiori was good. Timber was good. Saliba and Gabriel, really good. Raya didn't have much to do. I think the only save he had to make was that Lee Kane shot from range. Or I think that was it. I can't remember any other time. Unless that Neves chance he saved and hit the crossbar. Martinelli was good. He had that chance where he had that really good play, and it was Saka popped it over to Havertz, popped it over to Trossard, who popped it over to Martinelli, and he hit a volley on his left, but I feel like he could have taken a touch and hit it on his right and tried to place it. And that was a really good play. And then he had another chance where he was in, and he tried to place it in the bottom right corner. It went straight to Donnarumma. If we look at Marino, Jesus, I feel like he's doing nothing. I'm worried. I think there's rumours that there's a Havertz injury. If that is the case, I'm really worried. Like, having Jesus come in, I feel like he hasn't been good, and he's kind of, I don't know, he just hasn't been good at all. If we look at, I know this has been gone on for a little while. It's gone maybe like 10 minutes, I'm not sure. Dortmund have been really good. Who did they beat? They beat Celtic 7-1, and they beat Club Brugge 3-0. I mean, yeah. Brest as well been playing really well. The French team. They beat Sturm Graz 2-1, and then they beat Salzburg 4-0. They haven't had a big tester. Benfica have won their first two. Leverkusen, they beat Feyenoord and they beat Milan. So I mean, yeah, Liverpool won their first two. Villa they beat Bayern Munich as well. That's a massive win for them. I can't remember who scored, and then they beat young boys. But Juventus have looked really good. City have looked good apart from their draw to Inter. They beat I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Sparta Prague. They've been good actually. Draw to Stuttgart and beating Salzburg, I think it was, yeah. Sporting. And I think we have to try and finish in that top 8 because that's going to be crucial, especially with fixture congestion. But young boys have, these are all you can look through it yourself. Girona have not had a good start, or Leipzig. Who have Leipzig played? Atletico Madrid and Juventus. I mean, Leipzig have had a tough couple games. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the Arsenal vs PSG post-match report, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.